Hello guys out there, welcome to a new episode of Germany How It Is. Today I want to talk with you about work in Germany, work culture and things like that. So I write down some points on a paper to get all properly done. So this video is split into parts. First working part, self-employed, freelance work, and then working for a company. And the second part is about working culture, things you have to be aware of working in Germany, and then some personal opinions and how the situation is at the moment and things like that. So first I want to start with self-employed. This is a question I get. What do you need if you want work self-employed or freelance in Germany? There are 3 points or criteria you have to match. First, you need a resident permit. Then you need it has to be allowed that you work in Germany. And the third point is superior economical interest or a regional interest. This description I found, and I'm sorry for you, I didn't find any further explanation about it. So I guess it depends very strong what kind of freelance or self-employed work you want to do and in which area you live, and then you have to go to all the offices, the government offices, and take a look what is required for you. But some extra point, there are also public funds possible if you have a good business idea or something is very interesting for the state you're living in, and then you can get some public money to support your business, to run your business. But as I told you, you have to make a look at your own, do some research and look what you want to do. The second and I think more common thing is work for a company. Most people do this, and it make it a lot more easy to get a work visa when you have a company in your background that supports you. Or you can go to the government and say, yeah, I have this contract, and yeah, it will be more easy for you when you work for a company. Yeah. The next point is the working culture in Germany. We have very often a probation at the beginning, and depends on the kind of job you're doing. It can be from 2 weeks to up to 6 months, and in those probation your boss can fire you anytime without any reason. You also can go anytime without any reason. But after this probation there is a dismissal protection, which means it's very hard for your boss to fire you, because in Germany those dismissal protection is very strong. There has to be some special reasons that a company or your boss can fire you. First of all, when there are some economical reasons, the whole situation is doing bad for your company, then it's possible to fire you, and then it's also up which age are you, how long you working in the company and things like that. The next thing is if you do something wrong, like stealing, insulting colleagues or your boss, hitting them and stuff like that, or you betray your company, fake some numbers, stealing money, etc. You know, the typical stuff, somebody can fire you. Yeah. Now, the work culture is also where punctuality. This means not only when you have to be at work on what time. This is up to your job. Some jobs have a strict starting and end time. Others have just a core time. But what is more meant by punctuality is when you have an appointment. If you have a meeting, dating with your boss, or you have a deadline, things like that, then you have to be done till this time. The next thing is, in Germany we are strict result orientated, which means we have a problem, or we want create some new thing, a solution, whatever, and then it's who comes up with a good solution for this problem. It's not I cannot say this or that because my boss is higher in rank. If you have a good idea, you can say it and you can do it, and and the main goal is to make the things work. And to make the things work, there is a very direct communication. Yeah, you have to think about direct communication. In Germany, we are, from our culture, different as some other countries who are more non-verbal, non-direct countries. Like in Asian countries, you have those facing, and everything has to be fine with the face and the behavior. In Germany, it's not so. Direct means really, really direct. If you do shit, somebody will tell you do shit. If something does not work out, somebody will tell you have to fix it, that it work out. If you suck at work, you get told it. No. But don't worry, it's mostly not a personal insult, it's just the way how German work culture is. And we take work very seriously, and if you're doing lazy and you don't doing well, the people will they get you in some trouble or in some not so nice situations with your colleagues when the things not done. This direct communication is I think one of the main points that are different to other countries. But you also can say if something is wrong, you don't know how to do it or what else, you can also say it. The next thing is I put on my list is no outside of the box thinking. This is because we like to stick to the rules. And if you do something else, what is not so usual, the people will look strange at you. This means when you have a new idea to bring, as I told you, we are result orientated, but only in the ways we know. If you came up with a new way, it will be very, very hard, I think, for you to make it work. So in my opinion, it's better to just do it and afterwards say you did it this or that way. This will be better for you, because before you came up with a new idea, the people will wink away you and say, no, we don't do it this way, we always stick to that way, and this is not like the rules we know. So if you have something totally new way to achieve some goal, just do it, my point of view. One other point is we separate work and private life. So it's not a strict line, but it's more common here that you go to your work, you have your colleagues, and then you go home and do your private stuff with friends. I mean, it's always a mix. It depends up to you, your company, whatever, but it's not that way that a lot of people I know do a lot of stuff with their colleagues in their free time. They just do something at work and that's all, and then go home and have separate friends from their private life. Next is here, what is very, very new since last year, since 2012, is the blue card. It's like, or it should be like a green card in the United States. It's up to 4 years. It's a work contract is needed, or a university degree. And what's this blue card? It allows you to stay and work in Germany for 4 years. And the two main points you need is a work contract, and you have to need a university degree. And then you can apply for the blue card. And it also is depends on your income. On the normal income, I put the numbers down, it's 46,400 euro per year, and on some special jobs like a scientist, engineer, doctors, IT specialists and mathematicians, you need a job that pays you 36,000 euro a year, and then you can get those blue card, but it's still very new. As I told, it's from 2012. It's not very well known, and it's still very bureaucratic to get those blue cards. There are a lot of other things. Yeah, and now I will come to some personal points. As you see, by the blue card, the first income was about 46,000, and for special jobs we require here a lot, or the government says and the company says they require a lot. The income is 36,000, and they put the income down, and you have to think about it. They say we need some specialists in some jobs, and what do the companies do in the government? They put the income down. For me, it makes not a real sense. If you say, if you have a market situation and you see somebody needs and wants something, the one who has this stuff can put the price up. But not so in Germany. The more a job is required, the more the companies say, we put down the wages. Crazy situation. This is also the thing, the real income didn't rise in the last 10 years in Germany. Yeah, that also leads to some problems we have now in the European Union system, because you hear about Greece, Spain, Italy, and countries like that, as also France, Ireland. They're not doing very well in the economy, and Germany is the strong one and a good working economy, and we are so hard workers and stuff like that. But it's a lot of nonsense. It's a little bit bullshit, because as I told you, in the last 10 years the income for German workers didn't rise. So compared to the things we do, we are really, really cheap, and that's how we boot out the other countries in the world and also in Europe. I mean, you have to look at it. France produces also cars, and other countries produce stuff, and Germany produces stuff, and the whole idea behind it, we produce something you don't have and you want, and some other countries have some other stuff. So we sell our products, we export it, but the wages don't rise in Germany, so the people cannot buy things. So other countries who want to import their stuff to Germany don't find a market, because the workers don't have too much money to buy this stuff. So, but our market, our society, our economy is built up export. So we push our workers' wages down and sell the stuff to your countries, yeah, and we don't buy your stuff. Huh? Good idea to break down your country system. Nice. Yeah. Also, a critic point is we are just good in some fields like cars, engineering, machines, and chemical industry. All other parts broke down. You have to see big companies sell their mobile phones, solar, and what new technology, all the stuff what came up in the last 10 years, some internet stuff, mobile phone stuff, smartphone stuff. German companies suck at it. They sell all the parts, because they could not fix it, could not make it done. Only we are good is cars, machines, and chemical industry. So, but other countries came up with this stuff too, so it will be a hard time. The next thing is work is holy. It's our religion here in Germany. If you don't work and you're not a good worker, the people will think you will be a bad person. Yeah. And how we look at people who have no jobs, it's their own fault. It's not the government, it's not the economy, it's not that. It's always your own fault when you fail. And the next thing is economic growth is very good. We have to export more and more, and we have to compare to all the other countries. Pardon, God. Um, what is the thing? Yeah, when you look China, it's a big topic here. You see, China is seen as make cheap work, and in Germany, all the managers and the economy and the politicians they think, they don't do such a lot of high quality products like German cars and things like that. They're not as good as Germany at the moment. No offense, but yeah. But this is some point the companies don't see. They only see, hey, look, a Chinese worker is much cheaper, and that's all about in Germany. Be cheaper. Not saying we're doing good stuff, and for good stuff we can make a good price and sell our employees good. No, it's always cheaper. If you are too expensive, uh, it's not good. The firm will find a way to put your wages down. Yeah, the low wages. We have at the moment this discussion that we don't have experience and specialist workers and engineers and stuff like that, and so say we need more. And but in my situation at the university, I see a lot of people who don't find an internship, had a hard time to find a job, and they're not bad. So what's the reason? Yeah, it's a difference between the official version and the true version. And the thing is about it, if you tell the people we need students, we need engineers, we need this, and that, then you think normally, hey, the wages will rise up, but they don't. I think strange situation, but the people believe, this will get me a good job in the future, so I'll go to university and become an engineer and technician, mathematic, IT specialist, whatever. And so many people go to university, but it needs 4 to 5 years till you finish with a degree. And then maybe the economics are. There's so many engineers, so many IT specialists. I don't have to put up the wages. So it's a trick of the companies to always put the wages down. And yeah, this is other thing is for why the Germans don't do anything about it. Go on the street and work with the unions, and yeah, because in Germany having a job is better than have not. So this means even if you have a job, that in this job, when you have a job and in this job you cannot earn enough to support your family, and that's up to 40% of all jobs in Germany. And and those 40% need some benefits from the government to cover the cost of daily living. But for the people, it's more important to have a job than to have a well payment. It's a little kind of strange. That is why, as I told you, the wages don't rise. The people like it more to have a job than to have a good payment. And yeah, that also leads to the question, don't we have unions that fight for it? Yes, we have unions, but the unions work mostly together with the companies. For the unions, it's the same idea, that the people have jobs is more important than to have a good wage or a realistic wage. And the other thing, as I told you, which leads to that, then unemployment is always your own fault. The people here like to bash the unemployed. I mean, compared to economy in Germany, to the taxes we get, to the money we spend on some other stuff, that's just peanuts what costing the unemployed people in Germany. But there is such a strong blaming them because it's a kind of brainwash that makes you, yeah, kick you out of society if you have no job. And this put a long or a lot of force into you, because you think, when I have no job, I'm not a human being here. And then the people are always scared to lose their job, and then that leads to the situation, to get any job is better than to get a good job and to make a revolution or something, or go on the street for higher wages. No, because the people always fear to have no job. And when you are in fear, yeah, someone who controls your fear, this one controls you. Yeah, what else I have? Yeah, the low wages is one of the biggest problems here. I think yes, we have some, especially the meat industry, and you don't hear it in the newspaper. You have to do really some hard research that the German meat industry puts down the Belgium, the France, the Netherlands, and things like that, because we hire people from East Europe for about 3.60, 3.80 euro per hour for work, which is shit payment, and then have special work contracts with those people that they are so cheap. I mean, that's more money they get in their own country, but it's so cheap, and it's, to be honest, it's bullshit. And a lot of big companies do it. They make special contracts with the workers, and it's like time work and selling the workers out and things like that. And this leads to those 40% of jobs, full-time jobs, not part-time jobs, full-time jobs, 30%, which cannot afford a regular income to make a living for a family, and which leads to government benefits. So, yeah, a lot of people here work for low pages with some suspicious and strange work contracts, and yeah, the good thing, as I told you, the meat industry boot out all the other countries' meat economy because we make it cheaper. Yeah, and that's also why Italy sucks, Greece sucks, and things like that, because our wages too low. And if you come here, you think, oh, I come from a country which what economy is not so well, and I get a good living, and think that's true. But compared to what should be its low wages, look at France, Italy, and Spain, and those countries in the last 10 years, the income rise all the time, and in Germany it didn't. And so we make it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and this is the next problem. The discussion we had about needing specialists and things like that for the job, then think, why will people, when you're over 50 years old and the company will fire you, you will never find a job, or not very easy, will be a hard time till you can retirement. The age is now, it depends how old are you and which year you were born. It's between 65 and 67. It's the age when you can retire from work. But if somebody fires you and you're, let's say, 54 years old, it's very hard to find a job for you. And then on the other side, in the newspapers and in the television, they always told us bullshit about, yeah, we need the people, we need the work experience, things like that. But then a company, the system behind it is, if you're over 50 years old and an engineer, IT specialist and something like that, you're too expensive. That's why we also we changed our university system. We now have also a bachelor and master system, and this leads to this. The companies want to make the people quit university faster, then they can hire the people. The people work for them 15 to 20 years, something like that, and then you are too old, economic situation is bad, you have to go. And there's always someone younger and someone who works cheaper. And it's all the system. In Germany, as I told, work culture, work is the holy grail. And yeah, that's why you always find some guy who works cheaper than you, who works longer and cheaper than you. And it's always the fight. Yeah, that's at the moment all. I'll make a little break and think about it. Okay, bye for the moment, guys. So yeah, what's all about this stuff? There's those quote, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Yeah, I think the people in Germany don't know this quote. So when you pay less and less, the people always will struggle and will find a way and look for a way to get a job and make a living, a normal living. We're not talking about buying expensive sport cars and spend money for stuff like don't know. But just the people want to make a living. I think the people want to make a living in all over the world, and then we have all those bullshit companies and politicians and yeah. But if you pay less and less, the wages go down. The people will look to find a way, and then it starts with corruption. And then you know of their friend, and you pay a little bit for get their job, and then get in this position and do this and that, and then the whole system breaks down. If the people can say, I cannot make it on the normal, on the legal way, uh, then they will find other ways. They work without declarations, they work, the black market will rise and things like that. Yeah, and in the end, the system is so corrupt and failure that it could not repaired easily, and then it's broken down like in other countries you see. Yeah, don't know what is all behind this stuff and things to put the wages down and don't pay the people well. It's some strange situation. I mean, you spend a lot of time, and you have to take a look. In Germany, you have a really safe environment. We have no nature tweets, no hurricanes, no things like that. We have no big crime problems. We have no roids. We have no gang wars. We have no, yeah, it's quite a safe country. We have a good infrastructure. We have well educated people, and it's a nice place for a company to get workforce, and yeah. But at the end, all the mindset is to put down the costs, put down the wages. And I talk to some people from a company for our project, and in the companies it's always saving money, being cheaper, but at the end, um, yeah, you save you till that. If you don't, your company, you have to spend money, you have to make more money, you have to pay people well, you have to make investments on good products, on innovations and things like that. But we in Germany, the companies are in control of the controllers, and those is for me a big shit. Those people look at the numbers and say you're too expensive, this is too expensive, that is too expensive, this costs us too much, and this is too much. Yeah, and what do the people do? Nothing. They make no money. They don't produce anything. Nothing. They just sit there and say you're too expensive, man. You have to go. You want to feed your family? Work cheaper. And kind of brainwash. I don't know. This is it's strange. And don't where the way will go. It's up. You from outside, you think, Germany, the economy is small, the people, yeah. But as I told you, a lot of people cannot make a regular living with a full-time job. And you always be in fear that somebody say, the next economical crisis comes and we have to fire you. And when you are good in a job and you're doing well and you're producing something, and the company should pay you well. If you take a look at the money the companies make, they can afford to pay the people well, but they don't do. Yeah, and my tip, find your luck maybe somewhere else, go move out to another country or find a nice company, but avoid the big ones. I get yeah, some information about the big companies. Don't want to call names, but how they work. I also work for some. Yeah. The innovation it's not done by the big companies that sell, or we did this and that, but it's the innovation is done from the smaller companies that work for the big companies. The big companies, yeah, like shit. So yeah, this is something you may not know about Germany. If you have further explanations, question, if you think I missed something or what else, leave a comment, send me a message. If you like, subscribe, would be nice. So that's at the moment all of work in Germany. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Bye. See you.